Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Hi guys, this is one of those videos that I was so sure that I would never have to make, because I thought at the beginning when I started this channel that I was clear on what I wanted to share and how I wanted to share my life, my story or stories. But I found that through my inconsistency of posting and sharing, I had to take a good long look at myself, because I don't see the point on starting a YouTube channel if you're not going to follow through with it. And I'm the first to admit consistency is not my strongest strength. But after many years of being told I should do a YouTube channel, you'd be good at it, and wanting to do a YouTube channel, I finally got to the point last year and I thought, yeah, let's do it. I've got a lot to share. I've got 56 years worth of life experiences, 4 children's worth of parenting experiences, marriage, divorce, the whole thing. Plus there's a personal experiences that you have as you grow up, you go through your teens, your 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. And there's, like everybody else at my age, any age really, I've walked many roads, many paths, some easy, some hard, some fun, some essential and some very difficult. But I've grown from each and every one of them, and I've become a better person because of it, because of all of them. Even the bad things that have happened in my life, and I've had some pretty nasty, horrible things happen, but even through all of that, there was a semblance of winning at certain points. And I'm sure over time with this channel I will share some of the depths of that I've gone to, but I just don't need to share it today. It's not relevant for what this video is about. If you've seen my first video, if you haven't, I'll link it down below. When I first started this channel, the very first video I shared was very raw, and there was no pretenses, there was no fancy camera angles, and I didn't do any of that. I just wanted to sit down, straight talking, what I wanted to share on this channel. That's my dog's barking. That's Taylor. He's got an attitude tonight because I've made him sit in the kitchen, because otherwise he's all over me and I never get thought out. So excuse him barking. He's my attitude baby. So like many people, especially my age, I'm almost empty nester. My youngest is almost 21. He lives at home, and he'll move out when he's ready. There's no rush. He's just not that stage of his life. He's enjoying what he's doing right now, and I enjoy having him home. And I have a small business in spare bedroom upstairs, and I have many hobbies, all craft related, from crocheting to general craft to reading, writing. That's my other passion, is writing middle grade stories, home stuff, DIY. I don't do much DIY anymore because I can't physically do it, which brings me on to the next part of why I'm creating this video. Every day, every evening when I go to bed, I sit down and I think about my day. Nothing right in the morning. There's nothing stopping you waking up and doing a day in the life as it genuinely is. And that is hard because I've got so many disabilities, and there's still this facade where I don't want to show more than I have to show physically, where I struggle, because inside of me I want the independent me back. It's never going to come back, right? I am still independent, but the real me is never going to come back. that physical side of me is never coming back. And while I've got used to it to a certain degree, there are times that I get so irritated that I've got so many conditions, diagnosed conditions by the way, and every day is a new pain, a new swelling, a new stiffness, a new this, a new, and it gets tiring. It gets so tiring, it wears you down emotionally and mentally, not to mention physically. I miss cleaning my house from top to bottom in 4, 5, 6 hours. I miss doing that. When I can go in one room and I can do everything from the ceiling to the floor, walk out the door, shut the door and hit the next room running. Oh my goodness, they are memories. They are certainly memories. Now, to do one room, it takes me about a day, maybe a day and a half. That's if I do it on my own. I am very, very lucky and grateful that I've got Charlie and Lauren, because they will do anything I ask, anything at all. They are so, so good. And I do have family and friends who will, if I need help, they will step in and help. You know, so it's not like I've got to do this on my own. This is more about my mindset, my take on my life. You know, I've got 4 amazing children who, if I say, can you help me with this? They'll be there in a heartbeat. I'm so blessed, so, so blessed. And that's, you know, that's including that 2 of my children have children of their own and partners and jobs and all this stuff going on. And I feel so blessed that my children, they're at a stage in life that they're willing to do that for me. And they do make a lot of allowances, all my children do, and my parents, they make a lot of allowances for me. And it's not just inconsistent on posting on YouTube, I'm inconsistent in life as well. I'm full of good intentions, my heart's in the right place. These are things I hear all the time. But in reality, I can't be consistent. I can't be consistently the positive fool that I've been for I don't know how many years. Sometimes I just feel like just stopping and crying and screaming. And I know that should be okay to do that. It's me that's stopping myself doing that. And when I have times like that, I generally go inside of myself, cut myself off from everyone, and I just bury my head in the sand. And I'm just good for nothing. This time round, it hit me about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I want to say 2 weeks ago. But it hit me differently. I was writing my journal, as I was working in my office, I was writing in my journal. I felt agitated when I woke up that day. I felt restless, I felt overwhelmed, I felt irritated, I felt annoyed. But I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't anyone around me. Nobody had said or has not said something or done or not done something. It wasn't to do with anybody else whatsoever. It was my subconscious trying to come through. Ultimately, one day I may share this in full, but I will briefly say, ultimately my journal concluded with an ending that I would never, ever do. Ever. I wouldn't do it to my kids, I wouldn't do it to my grandkids, and I wouldn't do it to my parents. But I got to the point where I was happy not to not be here. I didn't see a future for me anymore because I was useless. I didn't feel sad, I didn't feel suicidal, I didn't feel down, I didn't feel any of that. I just felt at peace. I thought, okay, I've had a good life, you know, it's been rough at times, it's been easy at times, it's been fun, it's been boring, it's been challenging, it's been very blessed. And I thought, I'm okay to not be here anymore. But ultimately I realised that's more dangerous than being suicidal. And let me tell you what, I'll come back to that in a minute. I made a decision. Don't even ask. I made a decision to talk to my 3 boys. And I ummed and ahed over it for a couple of hours because I thought, if I go down this road and I step out of life, someone's going to have to follow me, and that's damaging to a child, even an adult child. And I thought, okay, I want to talk to my boys, let them know what I'm thinking. This is how skewed my brain was. My boy's going to be like, okay, I think you're selfish, I think you're an idiot. You've got to live, you've got your kids and grandkids, you see them, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. That's all that. You know? My second son, he just tore strips off me. Showing me and I think I scared him, and I think I scared him. I haven't told her. emotional or mental state on my children. My oldest son is 35. The next son is Jason is 6. She's gone 36. Scott's coming up 35. Kirsten's 21. I've never, ever, no matter how close I am with them, how mature they are, how grown up they are, put my emotional mental state on them. That's the way around. You don't do that to your children. That's the epic fail that I think was going on because I did that day. In the worst way. I look at my boys' faces and I think, you are such an amazing person. The road to travel, your story, your journey. This is where you are, this is where you are. He's taking care of his fiancée and children, travels down south every weekend. He works full time. You know, Kirsten, she's got her boy, she's doing certain things and whatnot. Plus they're moving, the person moving down from North Yorkshire. And works from home. And it's one thing me saying to them, I'm struggling today, I need some help. That's fine, that's everyday stuff. But it's not okay for me to offload on them when my life feels like it's got no meaning. It's up to me to find a new meaning. Because what I realise is, I've outgrown the life I was living. It's time to grow into the next part of my life. I just haven't decided what it is. So let me tell you what conditions I have. I have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, joint hypermobility syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome. I have severe asthma. Naturally I have depression and anxiety that goes with this. It's not major, but it does go up and down, so I'm on medication for it. And I've recently been diagnosed with and last week, Sunday before last, I had to have an out-of-hours doctor because my muscles were spasming so much in my thigh and my brain that I was on the ceiling. And normally when it happens, I just go to the paramedics because I need to have morphine and I'm allergic to morphine, so I have to be monitored. Hence, it's a drug. My body doesn't do anything straightforward or by the book. It never has done. But this time around, speaking to one of the out-of-hours doctors in question, and I was so grateful because she did not want to accept what I'd been told all this time. And she said, I want to know why your muscles are spasming, because that's not specifically down to fibro. She said, it can be. She said, but I want to know why. She said, if you have it struck down your right leg, why? Why only that area? But you should have been having it in your brain. And they explained, she replied, and they explained that when I had the diagnosis, I was fine. I said, not long after that, in the bottom of my back, to the right, it feels like I've got a leg inside of me. She said, that's very concerning. She said, because yes, there are muscles there, so but they do generally relax. Now we talked through using hot water bottles, which I've been using, and muscle relaxants, which I'm on methocarbamol, and various things, various movements, physio and whatnot, which I've been doing. About not staying still too long, about standing as much as I can, but don't push it to the point where it gets pain. I've been following the advice to the letter. But this doctor said, there is something else going on here and I want to know what. She said, I'm going to write to your GP and your rheumatologist and express my concerns. And I thought, hallelujah, somebody else is listening to me. Now, I am so blessed and grateful for our NHS because I've never ever had a bad service, not once. I love our NHS and I respect them wholeheartedly. For all the things that go wrong and all the things, you know, for the long waiting times and all this, I get it. I do understand it. However, my rheumatologist, I don't want to leave him because he's so clued in, he's so knowledgeable, he listens, he converses with me, and he listens when I'm explaining what's happening with my body. Now I also understand that he's got a million other patients to see, some worse than me, some maybe not, I don't know. However, when I get his time, I'm aware that his time is valuable and that I've only got a certain amount of time to be with him. So I don't feel that I can always ask him the questions in depth because I'm one of those people, I need to know everything, I want to know everything. If I've got arthritis in the spine, which I have, give me everything, give me the information so I can make peace with it inside, so I can learn how to find a new way of doing things. I know what I can and can't do in this situation, that situation. Give me the information so I can empower myself. We all know it, you know, knowledge is power. But since COVID happened, it's been a little bit of a different relationship with him and I. And I don't blame him, and I know it'll get better because I've got faith in him, because I've been with him for like probably about 13 years now. And I've got every faith in him. So when, you know, like anywhere in the NHS right now, there's going to be hiccups here and there. It's just people running the world. So in the meantime, because I don't go to my GP for every little thing, I don't phone Dr. Webber for every little thing, there's this combination of things building up, and what I hadn't been dealing with was my mental health. I'd stopped journaling, I stopped meditating, I stopped doing all the things that bring me peace. I stopped going for a walk in nature. Now yes, it's one thing taking the dogs for a walk, but there's nowhere really around here to go for a walk and just sit and enjoy it, sitting by a tree. Not unless you're going to drive somewhere. And being honest, with the weather we've had, I don't want my dog's muddy feet in my car. That's the truth of it. You know, I've got a nice car, I don't want it ruined. And I think I can be forgiven for that, but if not, that's fine, it is what it is. So I got to the point where I just started thinking, I've had this all wrong. I thought about what my boys had said, and I thought, you know what, they're right. It's easy to take a look from the outside and then put your suggestions in, your thoughts, your feelings and everything, in your anger. I'll take it all on board. And I'm so grateful I did tell them on this occasion. So grateful, because the feedback wasn't just a reminder that I've got value, it was a reminder that my life is not over. It wasn't just as their mom, they were talking to me, they was talking to me as a human being, and that's what I needed. I needed someone to say, forget you're my mom, forget you're my nana, forget you're my daughter, forget you're my friend. I needed that's independent touch. And what I should have done was gone for counselling. I didn't recognise that I'd got a mental health issue going on. And so I spent most of last week in bed. I was up and down like a yo-yo, because I can't stand very long, and all of this drama was going on. Then I had a couple of good days, and I thought, right, tomorrow I'm going to decorate my table for Easter, because that's the only decor I've done for Easter is my dining room table, which I'll show later in this video, just to lighten it up a little bit. And this week, again, I've been pretty much stuck to my bed, because I can potter around my room, I can pop to and from the toilet, you know, jump to the bath. That was like heaven. Charlie even brought the kettle upstairs for me so I could do my water bottles myself in the middle of the night, because I didn't want to keep waking him up, but that wasn't fair. And my friend had bought me this long hot water bottle for Christmas. Oh my God, that was so amazing, across the bottom of my back. So I lay on that, and then for my thigh area I was using a regular water bottle. That was like, it was like a drug. Well, if I ever done drugs, I think that's what it might feel like. Okay, bad analysis, but but no, ultimately I've got to the point now, and over the last day or so I thought, are you going to post a video this Saturday? Because I started to post every Saturday, and then I said to Charlie, what if I just post every few days when I've got something worth sharing? He said, yeah, nobody said you have to do it on a Saturday. He said, only you've said that. And you know, sometimes you think of something and you forget to change your mind. That's me. Sometimes I completely forget that I can change my mind, because I'm so used to trying to make things work a certain way and make things successful in the home, for the kids, for the dogs, for me. Honestly, my brain doesn't work unless the sun's out. Totally solar powered. But anyway, so what I've decided to do is I'm going to post probably every 3-4 days shorter videos, and sometimes I'll be in my office, sometimes I'll be around the house, sometimes I'll be out and about. But I figured that'd be a way that I can share some of my stories with you more consistently. But also, as well as that, Taylor, enough. As well as that, the content has to change, because I can't do clean with my days or day in my life very often, because I don't have the physical ability to do things like that. When I decorated my table for Easter earlier, I'd spent an hour beforehand just wiping the sides off, and it really wasn't really messy, just that I like things a certain way. And wiped the table off, sort of, because I've got my book nooks on there ready to be made. And I just moved things off and cleared the table ready, and just thought, now I'll start recording. But before that, I had to take painkillers. There's things I have to do before I do anything physical. And these are the things that I would usually think to share. But going back to my first video, I did say I wanted to keep it real. And the reality is, before I do anything, when you see my body moving, I've had to take painkillers beforehand to to make that body manageable for a certain amount of time. There's also, there's also moments that there's a change of scene a little bit because I've had to stop for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. But these are the things I've realised that this is where I come and need to share, because I advocate anyone to be who they are. Whatever their story is their story. It's not for me to retell it, reframe it. It's not for me to edit it or anything. I want to hear other people's stories, whether it's about illness, whether it's about disabilities, whether it's about divorce, whether it's about kids, whether it's about the travel lifestyle. There's so many different people in this world. People fascinate me. Yes, they hack me off. Certain people just don't know how to people. Let me just put it out there. Certain people don't know how to people, and that I just leave those people alone. I don't go there, right? And I'm kind of glad that they don't impose on my space either, because there's just some people that, let's leave it there, shall we? Yeah, good idea. So, from going forward from here now, I want to be more real about what I'm going through that day, my mental health. I want to be more real about how I do certain things and how I feel when I do certain things. For example, one of the jobs I want to do this week, I want to scan all of my books. I've got an app. I can't show you because it records on my phone. I've got an app. I can scan all my books and it'll put my library in order. I'll share the app in the description box below in case you're interested. Well, I want to scan all the books, all the textbooks and whatnot, and all the books in my house, whether it's soap making, slow cooker, gardening, all the books I've got throughout the house. I want to scan them so I know what I've got, because I'm forever going out and buying multiple books of the same one, and I've got about 4 that I've bought in the last 6 months that are duplicates. And because I was in Spain when I bought one of them, I was in Bristol when I bought 2 others. Nothing was in town, but I didn't realise I'd already got a book. I thought it was too late. So I think what I might do is do a giveaway. Sorry, can only be UK. I might do a UK giveaway for each of those books, but that'll be later in the month or beginning of next month when I can sort it all out properly. So I figured, let's keep it real. Let's be truthful. Let's be open and honest and transparent, because I am so fed up of coming on this camera and pretend I'm okay. And don't get me wrong, 95% of the time, maybe more, I'm happy. I'm fine, I'm good, I'm the fool. I'm the one that's our job to get a serious conversation out of, because that's who I am, it's who I choose to be, it's what I've always been. Sometimes I need to slow that down so I can stop for a minute and really talk openly about what's going on inside. And that's what I don't do. That's when things build up and build up and build up. And it's not that it becomes stressful and depressing, it becomes overwhelming. I get agitated, I get irritable, and I get lost in myself. And I don't want to go there again. What my children had to hear, they will never hear that from me again. Not ever. And neither will I let myself go to that place again. Because now I've realised what was actually happening, I feel like I've had a weight taken off my shoulders. Because all that was really happening was I was outgrowing certain habits, certain things I was doing. I needed to include some new things and some new ways of doing things. I needed to step up with some things, and I wasn't seeing it. I was stuck inside my head. So as I say, going forward, it will be more real. Some might be chatty videos, some might be let's go here and let's go there, and one of the things I want to do, because if I read it correctly, we've got some nice days next week, and I thought one of the days I may go up to Burnham Beach and just sit there and read a book and perhaps journal, have a coffee, and have some me time, take myself on a solo date. So if I do that, I'll take you with me, obviously. And I live in a beautiful part of the UK in the southwest. It's so gorgeous here, and I miss out on it because I'm so used to it being a touristy place in spring and summer that I don't think to explore it myself. Yes, I've been to a few places, but there's a lot of places I've not been to. So this spring and summer I plan to change that with the dogs, and some locations I can't take the dogs, so it'll be a solo adventure. And that's another thing I need to do, is get out more. I need to get out of the house more, because I spend so much time working. If I'm not working, I'm potting about in the house. And there's only so much you can do in the house. I love being home, I am very much a homebody. don't get me wrong. But whatever room I'm in, I want to overhaul it. I set out 3 weeks ago to move some furniture and start sweeping the floor and mop it and that. I ended up painting the walls. I got the paint since Christmas, but I didn't plan on painting that day. I ended up painting the walls. Okay, I kind of messed up a little bit, I've got to touch up on the ceiling, but you got to do what you got to do when you have moments like that. But I'm forever doing things like that. So it is what it is anyway. I'm not going to make a big deal over it. I'm not going to kick myself up the backside about it because it looks great. It's that dark academia that I really like. This room is so big that I can afford to have 2 dark blue walls. The other 2 walls are going to be bright white. I want to really let them, because the light is out behind the camera and the light bounces off the blue walls and off that wall. So I want that just nice and dark at night time, but nice and lighter through the day. So that's my plan. But one thing at a time. So I think that's really what I wanted to talk about, and I just think it's important that when you put yourself out there, like on YouTube, there needs to be a clear vision of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I can truthfully say on my heart now, yes, it would be nice to grow the numbers, it'd be nice to have more comments and likes and shares and subscribes, yeah, that'd be wonderful. But I cannot generally say that I post a video for the like, for the comment, for the share, for any of that. I post because I feel I've got something worth sharing, and at some point these videos will reach the person that needs to hear it most, and that will be the person that is meant to hear the video. I've just said that. Can we pretend I didn't say that a second time in the same sentence? Thanks. So at some point, what so like to say, what goes around comes around. But until that person finds this channel and that video they need to hear the most, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep posting. But either way, I'm going to have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you do too. I hope wherever you're doing, wherever you are, wherever's going on in your life, you can look in the mirror and say, I'm doing great. Every failure takes me one step closer to my success. Just remember that. So if this video was any use to you, please give it a like. Please think about subscribing, and if you know someone that could do with a little bit of support and encouragement, maybe share this video with them. And on that note, I shall say good night, I shall say goodbye, wherever you are in the world. Let me know down below where you are in the world. That really fascinates me, about where my videos are going. And leave me an emoji if you got to the end. Thank you. Leave me an emoji, leave me a flower, because I bought some nice flowers tonight, and I popped out. I don't know if you can see them, I've got some tulips and some baby's breath. I've got some on the table as well, but have a wonderful day. Spread the love, be the love, and remember, you are valuable as you are. Take care. Bye.
To the city streets, we began to feel the fire.